Okay, let's talk about posting in jobs. I know a lot of people have success with posting in jobs, but the ones that do are doing it in a certain way. And it's not by posting the same exact image ads that you're posting in your other categories, like your small business ads and your community general and your business for sale. You don't want to use the same strategy on jobs because it's very clear that you're not actually an employer or even a small business looking for employees. And that's a good way to get ghosted and eventually your account banned. Of course, we don't want this, so we need to at least appear as though we're an employer. So what you can do is with Craigslist Ad Tracker, you can use this little option for creating contact forms. And what you could do is create a form that kind of looks like an application. Okay, you can see some examples here. And you can create as many form fields as you want, such as, previous work history, current employment situation, whether they're looking for part-time or full-time employment, whatever you want. And you can create these apply now buttons. You can have these buttons say whatever you want, and you can actually use these forms not embed in the Craigslist ad, but you can have the button in there, and when they click on the button, it will actually go to your form. And they host these questionnaires, they call them, but really you can create it like an application and then have it submit, and it will just say thank you. You can even get their email and phone number, and then you can follow up with them personally. Okay, if you're going to be posting in jobs, this is really the strategy that you want to use. And if you don't use Craigslist Ad Tracker to do it, set up a website to kind of do the same thing. You want to just create it like an application page where you're you know maybe like an employer would do, but you got to be careful because people aren't stupid. It's got to look professional. It's got to look like it's legitimate. So if you just put together some hooky thing and you're asking some strange questions that an employer typically wouldn't answer, you may, shoot yourself in the foot because people may, think like, why is this guy asking me this? This isn't normal. So, don't try to ask too much. Don't try to ask, would you be interested in a side job? Do you have any money to put towards a small business? Have you ever thought about starting a small business or something like that? Questions that typically an employer is not going to ask. So I'm not going to go into too much detail because this is not typically a strategy that I use. Go through here and learn about how to create these forms and what you can do with it. All the information is on here, so I'm not going to go into great detail about it. But down here, get started with your lead forms, and you can basically just create a new form here, and add whatever fields you like. There's some generic ones. Again, I don't typically go this route because it's more time consuming, and I just don't bother with job section at all. Again, I like to post image ads and do all the things that I've talked about here and stay consistent and send them to a custom splash page or send them to my fan page. If you have success with that, you may not bother with the jobs just like I don't. So, but if you want to create your contact forms here, it's really not hard. You'll get the code that you can paste into the Craigslist image ad or the Craigslist ad, and it's just going to be like an HTML code for your button. Okay, that will say apply here. So you will need to make like either a clickable image for that button, your own custom image, or you can do a text ad and then embed that click here to apply button. So that would be the really the best way to use posting in the job section if you want to go that route.